Some confessions seize your heart with such intensity that every silent word becomes an overwhelming burden. Growing heavier with each fleeting moment, today, I decide to reveal the heavy truth that has been hidden inside me, a secret resting deep within my heart. At the age of 60, a surprising occurrence sparked a newfound energy within me that I had never felt before. It came upon us in a way we could never have anticipated. On that fateful morning, the hot water in the bathroom refused to flow yet again, and the broken faucets, alongside my shattered routines, stood as a vivid reminder of the tight grip life had taken on me. A haunting whisper of solitude, stillness, and a relentless cycle of everyday life has surrounded me ever since my husband departed. Whenever something in the house needed fixing, I would pick up the phone and search through the pages of the phone book to find the right number to call. Lucas, the youthful voice resonating from the other end, conveyed a profound and unwavering confidence. Today, I can make my way over. His tone held an elusive charm that stirred my curiosity. I tried to brush it aside. In the grand scheme of things, it was simply a matter of a faucet malfunction. Yet, when the doorbell rang, the world around me transformed as I opened the door. A young man stood before me, exuding an energy that quickly shattered the dullness of my life. With a clatter, Lucas let his toolbox slip from his shoulder, crashing to the floor at the entrance. In this manner, he asked. I took a moment to gather my thoughts before pointing down the hallway. Indeed, simply pass through that door. Should you desire to be among the pioneers who unveil these captivating mysteries, subscribe and be sure to activate notifications. Keep your eyes peeled until the final moments of the video, for it holds the promise of something truly remarkable. With a hint of curiosity, I led him toward the bathroom door. The young man's formidable presence dominated the narrow hallway, his muscles sharply defined beneath the fabric of his fitted shirt. In a brief instant, I was utterly entranced. For a fleeting moment, our gazes intertwined. It had been ages since I had come across a physique like that, and I swiftly averted my gaze, feeling an unexpected wave of self-consciousness linger for a heartbeat longer than I intended. Upon entering the bathroom, he carried himself with a certain assurance, as though he were not just there to fix a faucet, but to unveil a mystery that had been hidden away for ages. "Is this the faucet?" he asked, his gaze sweeping across the room. The aged fixture on the countertop stood before me, and I felt a sudden rush of nerves, leaving me momentarily speechless. What was it that stirred such unease within me? It was merely a repair job, a thought I repeated to myself. Yet my heart seemed determined to weave a different tale. Lucas knelt to examine the space beneath the sink, his movements assured and purposeful, a testament to his seasoned expertise in the task at hand. It dawned on me, almost surreal, that I was holding my breath without even a conscious effort. It's somewhat of an antiquated system, he noted, his hands skillfully inspecting the pipes. Yet we can mend it. It could require a handful of hours. His calm and assured tone momentarily captivated me, as I realized it had been years since I had encountered someone so young yet so confident. Maybe that wasn't the crux of the matter. Perhaps it was that a long-buried feeling was starting to emerge once more. As I stood there, pondering my exit from the bathroom, Lucas suddenly pivoted, his gaze meeting mine with an intensity that felt electric. "May I fetch a towel from over there?" he inquired, gesturing toward a small leak in the bathroom. With a hand pressed to my face, I felt the heat of embarrassment wash over me. Without hesitation, I replied, swiftly approaching the cabinet to unveil its contents. With a quiver in my hands, I pushed the door open. As I offered him the towel, our fingers grazed for a brief instant, and I was taken aback by the suddenness of that unexpected touch. In that moment, I realized this was not just a simple repair task. The fleeting hush that enveloped us felt heavy with the unvoiced hopes and dreams of countless years. "Thank you," he replied, turning back to his tasks. Yet that fleeting look in his eyes left me utterly disconcerted. I found myself contemplating whether it was simply a fleeting thrill, or if this young man had awakened something deep within me that had been asleep for years. While Lucas knelt to mend the faucet, I found myself wandering restlessly around the bathroom. My hands found themselves in a struggle, ensnared in a web of confusion, or clutching the counter as if it were my sole anchor in a stormy sea. The stillness wrapped around the room, pressing down on me, yet it was his very presence that tightened the grip on my heart. My eyes were drawn to him, as if an unseen force compelled me to look his way. In his youth, he radiated vibrant energy, pouring intense focus into every task he undertook. A profound feeling within me began to awaken, a sensation that had been lying in wait for years, now stirring from its deep slumber. A compelling desire stirred within me to shatter the stillness that enveloped us. It struck me that there aren't many young plumbers around, though I knew this observation was a bit unnecessary. For how long have you been on this journey? Lucas halted, his gaze drifting in my direction. He cast a fleeting look over his shoulder, and the moment our gazes intertwined, a wave of warmth washed over me, even as he appeared determined to dismiss it. For 5 years, he shared, shifting his attention back to his craft, embarked on a journey as an apprentice, and then ventured forth to establish my own enterprise. My thirst for knowledge knew no bounds. "What is your age?" I asked, my voice revealing a touch of admiration. 20-6. He answered, his response flowing effortlessly. His youth caught me off guard, yet it ignited a spark within me, a blend of thrill and an unforeseen allure. I found the words to express myself. In my effort to smile, I was taken aback by what I discovered. Had you kept your age a secret, I would have assumed you were more seasoned in years. In that fleeting instant, Lucas' reply, yet I noticed a delicate shift in his demeanor, as though my words had unexpectedly ensnared him. After a moment of quiet, he resumed his duties, his professionalism anchoring me in the moment. Yet, that mischievous part of me remained, dancing just beneath the surface. "How about a cup of coffee once you're done with those repairs?" With a spark of enthusiasm, I proposed a new direction for our discussion. In my possession lies a remarkable coffee machine, and many who taste my brew often remark on its exceptional quality. He halted for a heartbeat, his shoulders tensing as he threw another look my way, as if measuring some silent reflections. "Thank you, but I have some tasks to attend to today," he remarked. "Once I wrap things up, I'll be on my way." A flicker of disappointment washed over me, yet it was evident that Lucas was determined to uphold a professional facade. Perhaps that was what rendered him all the more enchanting. He took on his responsibilities with a gravity that contrasted sharply with his youthful appearance. As he concluded his tasks, I noticed him casting a few furtive glances in my direction, his attention briefly wandering as he gathered his belongings. In a toolbox, there lay a certain something within those glances, an alluring mix of attraction and curiosity, yet tinged with a hint of hesitation. With a satisfied grin, he declared, tossing the toolbox back over his shoulder, "The hot water should be flowing perfectly now. If you encounter any issues, feel free to reach out to me directly." "I will certainly," I declared, clutching the frame beside the door. "Thank you for your swift action on this matter." The beauty of being young, isn't it? In that moment, a subtle smile graced his lips, yet he maintained his composed and professional demeanor. He approached the door, hesitating for a moment as if words were on the tip of his tongue. Yet, silence enveloped him instead. He simply nodded at me and departed, and in that moment, it seemed as if a connection was beginning to weave itself between me and that young man. Something that perhaps was never meant to be. Yet, I found myself adrift, unsure of the path ahead. All I knew was that for the first time in ages, my heart was pounding with excitement. I found myself pondering whether this was simply a matter of plumbing, or if this young man had entered my life to spark a transformation. The following morning, as I entered the bathroom for a refreshing shower, I discovered that the faucet continued to yield only cold water. Never did I foresee that a mere malfunction could evoke such profound joy within me. Before I began, my hand quivered just a bit as I navigated through my contacts on a quest for Lucas's number. With every ring of the phone, my heart quickened, a drumbeat of anticipation echoing in the silence. "Hey Lucas," I said, my voice carrying a sense of urgency. "It seems that the faucet you so skillfully repaired yesterday has decided to misbehave once more. I truly apologize. But would you be able to return?" His voice carried a professional tone, yet I could feel a fleeting hesitation in the air. "Absolutely. I'll carry along some extra parts this time, ensuring we can mend it once and for all. In about an hour, I shall arrive." I expressed my gratitude, and as I ended the call, a sudden surge of exhilaration enveloped me. As I rummaged through my wardrobe, a wave of urgency enveloped me. In my heart, I longed to seem casually unready, while beneath the surface, a desire for a hint of preparedness stirred within me. My fingers glided over the delicate fabric of my cherished black lace nightgown, a luxurious treat I endeavored to justify as simply a source of comfort. Yet, the image gazing back at me in the mirror revealed a tale of its own. As I gathered my courage for what lay ahead, the doorbell rang, prompting me to take a deep breath before I flung the door wide open. Lucas's gaze brushed against me for a brief moment, yet he swiftly gathered himself, tool bag in hand, along with a handful of other belongings. Amidst the scattered pipe pieces, I wore a mask of indifference, as if my attire was nothing out of the ordinary. I wondered if I was perhaps being a bit of a bother. This faucet was truly a trial for my patience. With a subtle shift, Lucas turned his gaze away, quietly navigating towards the bathroom door. "Not an issue," he responded, "this time. I shall mend it once and for all." I followed him into the bathroom, keenly watching each motion as he leaned down to turn on the faucet. His hands danced with a skill that hinted at a wealth of experience, yet an unspoken tension lingered in his stance. Is this sort of occurrence a common tale? I embarked on a journey, seeking to weave together the quiet that enveloped us. The delicate fabric of my nightgown whispered against my skin, awakening my senses and igniting a daring spirit within me. I contemplated the essence of mending. Do the things you meant ever find themselves in disrepair once more? With a determined gaze, Lucas responded, "Sometimes, yet this time." A sense of certainty washed over me, whispering that it would unfold in a new way. All the essential pieces were gathered around me, ready for the unfolding tale. "How meticulous you are," I noted, presenting him with a subtle smile. "It seems you possess a remarkable talent for your craft, especially considering your youth." As I extended my hand toward the faucet, it inadvertently grazed his arm. Lucas paused, a flicker of hesitation crossing his mind, before he resumed his task with renewed focus. Though his eyes wandered, I could feel the change in the atmosphere. His tension hung in the air, thick and heavy, as he finally found the words to speak, his voice a gentle whisper. A hush wrapped around us for a fleeting moment, and his soft demeanor filled me with courage. As he bent down to examine the pipe nestled beneath the faucet, I extended my hand and gently brushed against his back. "It's a rare treasure to come across someone with your level of skill," I said, my voice playful and teasing. Lucas straightened and met my gaze, a flicker of uncertainty and tension in his eyes, as if he were reaching for control. "Helen," he said, my name escaping his lips like a whispered request. "Maintain your boundaries. This job is nearly complete, and soon I won't intrude upon your space again." Yet, the sharpness in his voice wavered for a brief moment, and seeing him grapple with his predicament stirred something deep within me, an exhilarating longing I hadn't felt in ages. Uncertainty hung in the air, thick and palpable, as we stood at the edge of a precipice. The weight of the moment pressed down on us, and the choice of who would take that fateful step forward lay entirely in our hands. As Otis leaned in to adjust the faucet, I found myself propped against a nearby cabinet, my gaze fixed on him, feeling a touch self-conscious about my casual attire. With every step I took, I aimed to exude an air of ease. Conscious that I could come across as too nonchalant, Lucas held his ground. Yet I could detect a trace of unease, a sign that he wasn't pushing back against me, rather wrestling with his own internal struggles. Do you truly believe you have a firm grasp on your actions? I inquired, my voice laced with a playful hint. With his eyes fixed on the task at hand, Lucas pressed on, yet a quickening rhythm of his breath betrayed the tension within him. Naturally, he responded with a curt tone. This is a walk in the park. Truly. I inched a bit nearer. So, what causes it to shatter once more? Every few days, I would lower myself, pretending to reach for a towel from the cabinet. In those fleeting moments, the gentle strap of my nightgown would slide from my shoulder, and the feeling of wearing it ignited within me a spark of newfound courage. As Lucas lifted his eyes, a momentary pause enveloped him, a brief hesitation before he resumed his duties. Yet, this time an unmistakable urgency colored his actions, as if he were driven by a desire to swiftly wrap up whatever endeavor had captured our attention. Perhaps there lies another culprit in the bathroom, he proposed as he tightened the faucet. Yet his voice revealed a subtle quiver, battling to uphold its composure.